Hey, welcome, Magnus here. Canon 90D. Canon Rumors says it's going to be announced this year, but what are we going to expect? What do we have to hope for? 4K, anybody? These are going to be my hope fors when it comes to the Canon 90D, and I'm going to try to keep it realistic. Coming up. Alright, so if you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button if you like to stay up to date on basically my opinions on reviews and cameras and whatnot. But let's get right to the video and see what I think about the 90D. Now, first, when you talk about the 90D, 90D would be a camera that's a follow-up to the 80D that was released some time ago that became kind of like a go-to camera when it came to vloggers. It had excellent 1080p video. It had a flip screen so you could see yourself, and it was one of the first, not the first, but one of the first cameras that introduced the dual pixel autofocus for video. And in video in particular, it was amazing. It was a game changer. And to this day, dual pixel autofocus remains one of the best featured on Canon cameras. So basically it's the go-to camera. 80D was excellent. So the 90D, we want to see a significant upgrade, right? So 80D itself was 24 megapixels. So in a 90D, we'd want to see something comparable, but a slight improvement. So I wouldn't be surprised if they throw in 26 or 28 megapixels in that camera. ISO range was anywhere between 100 and 16,000. I wouldn't be surprised if they bumped that up to 32,000 or even excelled beyond that, because they'd probably include a new processor to make it improved or make it a little bit better. 45 points of cross-type autofocus. I don't think they'll update that too much because Canon tend to stick to the same or similar types of autofocus points. Unlike Sony, where they try to cover as much of the frame as possible because they want to make sure that every point is an autofocus point. But then again, that's how Canon operates. Okay, so like I mentioned before, the 80D had 1080p at 60 frames a second. But everyone already knows that Canon needs to get to the game when it comes to 4K. Now, you had the 5D Mark IV that does 4K, but with a severe crop and with a codec that's difficult to work with, which is the MJPEG codec. Now, the EOS M50 came out with 4K and the ability to use 4K with a better codec than what you had with the 5D Mark IV. However, it didn't feature the dual pixel autofocus. Now, when it comes to the 80D, the dual pixel autofocus made it famous and stand out. So if you do 4K, I believe that they will activate the 4K with the dual pixel autofocus for the 80D. Now, when you mix that with the flip screen, it's going to be pretty much a feature that everyone's going to want. However, when you consider the crop factor that's going to be necessary for the 4K, I don't believe that they will do a full sensor readout for the 4K on the 90D. What you're going to get is a mid-sensor crop similar to the 5D Mark IV for the 4K, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's what I realistically think that they're going to do. Will they do that? I don't know. Here's hoping for full sensor readout, but I think that they're going to save that for their higher-end cameras first and then trickle that down. So maybe a 1DX Mark III with a full sensor readout? Who knows? We'll see. Basically, all the other features like burst rate will probably be 7.5 or 8 frames per second for pictures, or maybe they might keep it at 7. LCD will be improved. It'll be touch screen, so that LCD, you'll have that pretty much touch to focus feature, and then you're just going to get your standard Canon options. They might tweak or upgrade a few things more, but that's what I predict for the Canon 90D, or what I could hope for. When it comes to features such as focus peaking or zebra lines, I don't believe Canon has any interest in doing that for their DSLRs. They can, but I don't believe they have any interest. What about log? another feature that I don't think that they're going to throw in there. Canon log, they're going to take it out or not even feature it in there because they just have no interest. The 5D Mark IV has Canon log, but they did that in particular because the 5D has been a well-known camera that revolutionized video in DSLRs. But I don't think that they're going to throw that in anywhere else. So that's kind of what I think, and that's all I have to say about the Canon 90D. Hopefully it'll be announced soon. I've seen rumors where it's going to be announced third quarter in 2018 and some in the second quarter of 2018, which is where we're at now. But we could only hold out and see what we get. But what do you guys think about the 90D and the possibility of an announcement soon? What do you guys want to see in the Canon 90D? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, like, share, hit my Twitter up, ring that notification bell if you're already subscribed, but if not, you can make my day if you subscribe today. This is Magnus, and I'm out. See you guys later.